We are live again. We are live again. Hopefully people will get into this one. The last one did not work. We will see. We will find out shortly. We have two in here. That's good. Our previous stream kicked us off. I don't know why, but I see some of you have made it here, so that's positive. And hopefully this stream does not kick us off either.
Sorry, Ryan.
That's all right. Teresa kicked me. Yeah. It's not the stream kicking us off, it's Teresa kicking. As you can see, she's doing some dead bugs or bird dogs, and her circle is just flying back and kicking out at me.
Okay, let's talk about what they need.
Okay, so I'm gonna start gathering some equipment, and I'm gonna need you guys to start gathering some equipment too. So today you're gonna need two things that you can lift, two things that you can squeeze, and one thing that you can slide. Okay, so two things to lift, two things to squeeze, and two things to slide. So my recommendation, if you've got them, a pair of yoga blocks. These you can squeeze, and you can actually lift them too, but primarily you can squeeze these. For something you can slide, if you have sliders at home, sliders are awesome. If you don't have sliders at home, you can use a hand towel, or a bigger towel will work too. Hand towel is just a little more compact and easy to use. And then the thing to lift, of course, you can use dumbbells, or you can use your yoga blocks, or you can use some soup cans or cans of beans. So I'm going to grab some dumbbells from our exercise closet. There we are. So again, you want something you can squeeze, so yoga blocks are great. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use a towel wrapped up into a ball, or you can use your soup cans with your towel wrapped around it, and you can squeeze the soup cans. Then for something you can slide, your towel comes in handy again. Or if you have sliders at home, use sliders. And then for something to lift, dumbbells are great. You don't need much weight today. 10 pounds is fine. Now if you've got it, or use soup cans or a peanut butter jar, anything you can wrap in your hands and lift.
We had only one can of beans left in the cupboard, and this is actually heavier than the beans. Oh, hi, Paul. Yay. Paul, you have dumbbells, so you're not allowed to use peanut butter. So
even though it is delicious, let's not fool anyone here. Peanut butter is delicious, but this is about working out, not eating peanut butter. So. Okay, so hopefully everyone has got their stuff. Everyone has two things they can squeeze, two things that they can lift, and one thing that they can slide. Okay? So, that being said, we are going to get into our workout. I'm just going to angle the camera down a little bit, and I am going to lead you through a nice flow to begin. And you guys can just follow along. And I'm just going to get the peanut butter out of my way so I don't bump myself on it. Okay, so we're going to start down in the quadruped position. So you're on all fours, hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. We're going to start doing cat-cow or cat-camel. So I want you to arch your back, lift your head, take a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, head down, round your back. Big breath in, arch your back, lift your head. Big breath out, round your back, tip your head. Just trying to create some movement through the spine as we go back and through these motions. And then we're going to add just a little more movement to it. Something Teresa taught to me from one of her recent courses that I like a lot. So as you do your cat, as you reach your head and arch your spine, you're going to sit your hips back just a little bit. And then as you round your back and breathe out, you're going to bring the hips forward of your knees. So it's just a little rock back and forth as we do these movements. Just a small variation, but it's quite effective. We'll do just a couple more. Good way to start. Stretching out the back and doing some breathing. Okay, from here, you're going to bring your knees together. We're going to do some lateral hip rocks. So you're going to rock your hips side to side. And if your hips touch all the way to the ground, great. If they don't worry about it. That's not the goal. The goal is just to rock to the side until you feel a stretch on the side of the hip capsule there. And we're not moving through them too quick. Just at a steady pace here. A couple more. And then keeping your knees together, we're going to rock all the way back and all the way forward from the hips and the shoulders. So sit right back, try to reach your fingers as far forward as you can, and your butt right back on your heels. And then we're going to pivot from the shoulders and hips, so we're not bending the elbows and dropping into a push-up. We're keeping the arms straight here and just letting the hips come forward towards the ground. Hips back, chest down, hips forward, chest up. And again, we should be doing this with your knees together at this point. I'm just going to do one more round with the knees together. And then what I'm going to get you to do is shift your knees until they're about shoulder width apart or maybe slightly outside of that. We're going to sit back, come forward. As you come forward, try to squeeze your bum. You will probably find that as you're coming forward, your hips won't make it as close to the ground as they did in the previous position. If they do, that's awesome. You have really, really, really great hip extension.
But it doesn't make you a bad person if you don't.
I can't, and I don't think I'm a bad person. Okay, and then we're going to bring your knees as wide as you possibly can. There you go. And we're going to do the same motion. And here you most definitely will not be able to get your hips right to the ground when you come forward. And if you can, it might not even make you a person.
You might just be a freak of nature.
Some sort of freak of nature. Okay. That should do. Okay. Now, you can stay in your position. I'm going to turn to the side just so I have a little bit more space. We're going to bring the knees back to just below the hips and shoulder width apart. We're going to take one foot and put it right out to the side. And then we're going to do that same type of rocking motion. You don't need quite as much range here, but we're looking to get a good stretch in the groin and the adductors of the leg, so the inside of the leg there. And this one, we're going to do some extra rocks. We're going to go for about 10 of them here. And these ones you can do at a slightly quicker pace than you did the last ones. We're still not racing, but move in and out of feeling that good stretch. Okay, and let's switch legs. And rocking back and forth here. Again, just feeling that in the groin and the adductor. Do about 2 or 3 more. Okay. I'm going to get you to come up to a kneeling position next. And we're going to do a half kneel. So a half kneel is one knee down, one knee up. And we're going to go through a little bit of squat prep motion here. So for squat prep, hands on the knees, big breath in and then breathing out as we rock forward. Now it's important here that we're trying to get rocked forward as far as you can without that front heel coming off the ground, because we want to get some good flexion through the ankle. And if your heel's coming off the ground, we're kind of missing the point. You should also be getting some good stretch through the hip flexor on the back leg. Next, we're going to put our hands on the inside of the knee. We're going to come forward. We're going to press the knee open with one hand and reach behind us and look behind us with the other hand. We'll just do that 3 times here. Then we're going to take this front leg, move it out to about 45 degrees. Just make sure you have space. And one more. And then I'm just going to shift a little so I have the space. But we're bringing the front knee right out to 90 degrees. Your legs right open. Rock over that foot. And open up. Good. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Starting with just some hip rocks. Looking for hip extension on the back leg and front leg, hip flexion, knee flexion, ankle flexion. Remember, keep that foot planted. We'll do a few extra of these, 5 or 6 of these rocks. And then we'll just go 3 times in each position, opening up. 1, 2, and 3, and then hips at 45 degrees, 2, and 3, and then right up to 90. And if you bump your quarantine partner, you should be apologizing.
I'm sorry, quarantine partner.
Okay, from here, we're gonna sit down onto our bums. We're gonna just keep our chest nice and tall, hands behind us, shoulders down away from the ears. We're just gonna start with some knee rocks here. In this position, we'll do about 10 of them. If you can get your knees right to the ground, great. Again, if you can't, it does not make you a bad person. It just means you have some opportunities to work on your range of motion.
Exactly.
I have a little bit of an opportunity to get my left leg's internal rotation better. I can't quite get that left knee to the ground when I'm rotating it inwards. And I haven't been able to since I hurt my groin last year.
Oh, injuries.
Okay, but it's a lot better than it used to be. So we're gonna let our knees sit right down on the side. Now we're gonna put one hand on each side of your front knee, chest is pointed out over it. Big breath in, reach, pull your chin back through your chest. Oh, thanks for coming, Jen. See ya. Jen came for the warm-up, but she's gotta run. Okay, moving along. And further out. So we've done this flow over the knee, over the thigh, over the hip. Then we take our back hand that we were on, fall to the elbow. And we're gonna do some rotations first. So just reach under your hip, reach under your stomach, reach under your chest, reach over your shoulder, reach wherever you like. But we're trying to rotate and reach back. And then we're gonna swim. So we're gonna take the top hand, bring it down by your leg, reach it to the sky, swim it right overhead, drag it through. 2, and one more. 3, good. And then we're gonna flip to the other side. And we are again doing the same thing. So reach your chin and then pull it back. Reaching over the knee, pull back, over the knee, pull back, and then over the thigh. Three of them, and then over the hip. Three of them, fall to the elbow, and rotate. Can reach to all different positions, whatever feels like it needs a little extra. Go back to that same position a couple times if you like. And then we're gonna swim, hand down by your leg, reach to the sky, drag it on through. Good. 3 times will do, and that will conclude our warm-up. And Teresa is gonna take us through our first big tricep for the day.
Yes! Triceps, we have 3 of them for you today. If you have been with us for a while, this is a repeat of one of our previous workouts. But maybe you have more equipment now. Maybe you've got a set of dumbbells of the one dumbbell that's left at Sport Check in Kelowna anyway. Maybe it's you that got one of the other sets. There's only one 5-pound dumbbell. It's lonely, sitting on its own left. First tricep is a wall sit with squeeze.
That's where you're gonna need your...
I will show you all the things. A wall sit with squeeze, a standing adduction, and a hollow hold press. Now, what are all those things, you ask? The wall hold with squeeze, you're gonna use whatever material you grabbed for squeezing. For us, that's a yoga block. For you, maybe it's a jar of peanut butter or something else wrapped in
Jar of peanut butter wrapped in a towel.
a towel, something soft so it doesn't hurt your knees.
I'll use this to show.
So we have your feet at about hip width distance apart, or whatever your squat distance is. And you're gonna slide down the wall into what would be your low depth of your squat position. You're gonna take your whatever object it is that you're squeezing today, and you're gonna place it between your knees and create pressure with the knees inwards. As you do this, you wanna make sure that you maintain a neutral spine. So what does that mean? Roll the shoulders back, brace the belly strong, and push your spine into the wall, maintaining a curve in your lower or lumbar spine. That is movement number 1. Whew, I dropped my squeezable. Movement number 2 is, we're actually doing hip standing abduction?
Abduction.
Abduction, okay? Now you don't have to understand what that means if you're not into biomechanics, but we're simply lifting the leg out by way of squeezing your butt. So as opposed to just kind of hucking your leg out, you're doing a controlled lift with tension. And I encourage you to pull your toes towards your shins. That will help activate your quadricep muscle. You can use the wall for support. We're just going out and in. Now, if you happen to have bands at home, either mini bands or larger looped bands, you can use those to create a little bit more resistance around the knees or the ankles as you go. But for us today, we're just gonna do body weight, no resistance. For your third exercise, we have the hollow hold press.
Teresa's gonna use a 15-pound dumbbell, and I'm gonna use this 50-pound jar of peanut butter.
You're gonna get into a position on your butt where you can lift the feet off the ground. So if you're familiar with yoga and you know boat pose, it's kind of similar to a boat pose. If you have trained with us before and you know all about the hollow hold, just adopt your hollow hold position, except we're gonna include a weighted press, okay? So it looks like so. My feet come off the floor. I maintain tension in my opposite arm so that I'm stable. And I maintain a strong core brace. And I go ahead and I press my weight overhead. Now when I'm pressing, I'm thinking about racking my weight immediately in front of my shoulder. And when I get to that top position, my bicep sits right beside my ear. So I don't want to come forward with my weight. I always want to stack my joints. Okay? Now in terms of repetitions, we're going to be doing a 30-second squeeze on the wall sit. We're going to be doing, I believe it was 10 to 20 on the adductions.
20 total, 10 each side. Yeah.
10 on each side of the adductions, and then we're going to do 10 on each side of the hollow hold press. We're going to include about 30 seconds of rest at the end of each tricep, but we're going to do 3 rounds of tricep number 1 before we move on. Without further ado,
Let's do it.
let's get to it.
So
So find your wall or your squeezable object, set yourself up so that you can comfortably squeeze in your squat position. When you're ready,
time is running.
yep, we'll start from 15 seconds there on the clock. Our clock is running in the corner here, and since we're both on camera, we couldn't hit start. If you have a clock or a timer that you want to be using at home, feel free. Sometimes we ramble on, but usually we try to hold to whatever second count that we say we're going to do, despite my poor counting abilities.
We have 6 seconds remaining.
Squeeze strong with your knees.
Done.
Very nice. Okay, next up, hip abduction, abduction. I'm going to stand over here so that Ryan doesn't kick me. So lifting the leg with the toes flexed in towards your shins and squeezing the high hip as you lift. I have definitely lost count.
9, 10.
Beautiful. Okay, now all you're going to do is turn around. Stabilize yourself. So all the while you're bracing your abdominals, not sucking in and holding your breath, but holding a brace as if somebody's about to punch you in the stomach.
That is 10.
Beautiful. Okay, coming down into your hollow hold press position, grabbing your jar of peanut butter and or your dumbbell.
I'll use a dumbbell.
Okay, so we're here. Set up your strong hollow hold position first, bend to the knees, strong position in the opposite arm, and press. So we take the stability out of the lower body by lifting the feet off the floor, and that challenges our upper body a little bit more.
And
Okay.
challenges the core like nobody's business.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, Ryan likes to race. And 10.
Good.
Beautiful. That's our first round complete.
You have 30 seconds to grab some water.
You do.
I'm going to use my 30 seconds to grab some water.
Now, if you want to make any tweaks or adjustments to your next round to maybe make it a little bit more difficult, either grabbing a heavier weight or, I don't know, grabbing something different to squeeze.
Or sinking lower into your squat position while you squeeze
Exactly.
will
If you're
work.
doing that. Okay, I think we're ready to go.
Yeah,
Find your
let's
wall again. Round 2 of 3. Sink into your squat position on the wall. Hold your squeezable object between the knees and press. Time has begun. Shoulders set back into the wall, spine is long, brace is on. You're squeezing your butt and you're maintaining a neutral curve to your spine. So you don't want to press your whole back into the wall.
There's a video on YouTube of a woman with very strong legs crushing a watermelon between her legs like this.
Wow.
I would strongly suggest you all imagine this is a watermelon and you are trying to destroy it.
That is time. Okay. Next up, adductions. Find your wall, neutral hips, lift the leg, and you don't want to adjust your hip position here.
The goal is
Okay,
not
so
to
we're
get
not
the
leaning
leg.
out.
Yeah, goal is not to get the leg as high as possible. Just as high as it will go while you can stay tall.
I think that's 10.
I believe so.
Other side. I'm going to try no hands. Now these workouts are geared towards people that are doing stuff at home that may not have equipment. So again, you can adjust as needed to make this more or less challenging.
If you've got the equipment to do so, please do.
Okay, hollow hold press. I like to start with my less dominant arm first, so I start on my left side. You can start whichever side you like, just make sure it's tense and strong and supported. Reach. Don't forget about the brace. Bicep to ear. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it doesn't matter if you're off my count. Just count your reps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. That's 2 rounds done. You have 30 seconds to grab another sip of water.
Lisa, where's your water today?
Yes, where is my water? In the bedroom.
Hydration is key. Don't forget to have your water, and if you don't have your water, you have 30 seconds to run and grab your water. Fortunately, Teresa's water is right around the corner.
Got it. Okay, 3 seconds to go. Set up your next round. Onto the wall. 3, 2, 1, and start. Squeeze.
Break that watermelon.
Brace. Challenge yourself. This is the last time that we do this. Can you get a little bit lower? Can you get half an inch lower and still squeeze? Still maintain your back contact with the wall. For the count, I don't know where we're at. 7 minutes.
4,
3, 2, 1, and done.
beautiful.
Okay, abduction. Find your wall and lift. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch sides. 1, challenge yourself to go no hands this round if you want a little more challenge to your balance. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Okay, hollow hold press. Now you may notice Ryan's legs are straighter than mine. Again, it doesn't really matter how your feet are off the floor, just as long as they're off. I like a knee bent position because for me, it helps my position of my low back. Okay? Let's finish this off strong. Create tension. Reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoo, she burns. 9, 10. Made it.
Beautiful.
first tricep done. Ryan is going to take you through your second tricep of the workout.
That I am. So for our second tricep, and you guys can rest and have some water while I explain. For your second tricep, you're going to need two things that you can squeeze. So just pass me the blue yoga block. So you're going to want either two yoga blocks that you can kind of push together, or two cans of beans or soup work well, or anything else small that you can kind of just push together in your hands. You're also going to need your sliding device. So your towel, or if you actually have sliders at home, or if you have a slick floor and socks on, that will do the trick too. So I will take you through them. I'm just going to move to the center of the room just for sake of everyone being able to see me. And when Teresa and I actually do these exercises with you, one of us might be slightly off camera, because these ones do take up a little bit more space. So we're going to do what's called a 3-position press first. So first we're going to set up our yoga blocks over our head. Just make sure the yoga blocks are in the camera. So we're going to set up our yoga blocks over our head. And we're going to lay down, face down, and you're going to put your hands on top of your yoga blocks, and you're going to press down, trying to squish them into the floor. And I'm pushing as hard as I can, and the backs of my shoulders are going to light up. So that's the first position. We're going to do that for 10 seconds. Second position, you're going to keep the yoga blocks where they are, put your hands on the side of them. Again, if you're using cans, just same thing, put them on the side. And you're going to squeeze them together overhead. And again, this is going to be for 10 seconds. Shoulders are going to light up again, a little bit more to the side of the shoulders though. And for an extra challenge, you can try lifting the yoga blocks off the ground as you squeeze them together. That is quite difficult though. So you can even do a combination of lifting and keeping them on the ground as long as you're squeezing together the whole time. Third position, yoga blocks out to your side, hands on top again, and you are pressing down into the yoga blocks as hard as you can, kind of press them through the ground. And this time you'll find the inside of the shoulders and the chest feel that squeeze. So that's your 3-position press. Next, we're going to have a 3-position single leg squat matrix. For this one, you'll want your slider, so you can put your towel underfoot, or you can just use socks on the ground, which I'm going to do now to demonstrate. And I'm just taking the center of the room so you can see. So I'm going to start by keeping, I'm going to go with my left leg. It's going to stay planted. My right leg, I'm going to slide my heel forward and try to dip, and only through as much range as I'm comfortable. Then I'm going to slide that right leg out to the side and dip. And I'm going to slide that leg back and dip on that left leg. I'm going to go forward again, toes up. Then foot stays flat, slides out, and onto my toe as I slide back. And each time I'm putting the weight into that planted leg as the other one moves sort of around a clock. For those ones, rep range, we're going to do 3 reps of each. So I'll go forward, side, back is once around, and then twice around, and 3 times around. And then we'll switch legs. The last movement is a cross-body dead bug hold. So what we're going to do here is we're going to lay on our back. Knees are up and bent at about 90 degrees, knees right above your hips, hands right above your shoulders. You're going to take opposite hand and leg and move them down. And then the sides that are still up, you're going to push your hand into your knee and think about them pressing across into each other. Now, Teresa cued me to point my toes. That is a good cue. Keep your toes pointed up towards your shin as you do this. In 10 seconds, we're going to hold and press, and then we're going to switch sides. Left hand down, right leg down, and then pressing in.
Notice when I'm pushing Ryan around, he's not moving. So these other limbs are staying solid and
Not
tense.
moving a lot. Okay, let's do it. So it's going to be a 10-second hold on each of those presses, a 3 times around on each leg, and then a 10-second hold on each side for the dead bugs. And then again, we'll have about 30 seconds rest, sip of water, and 3 rounds here. I'm just going to keep the camera pointed low so you guys can see what's happening around the ground, because that's the most important thing. And Teresa and I are just going to work around each other so we don't bump each other too much. I'm going to face down this way. Teresa's going to face up towards you. So we are starting with, and Teresa's going to clear the camera. Excellent. Okay, so we are starting with hands overhead, hands on top, and pressing down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to take your hands and just put them on the side of your blocks now. They're still overhead. You're going to squeeze into them for 10 seconds. If you want to try and lift them off the ground, you can. It is a big progression. 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to take those blocks out to your side. Arms out beside you. And pressing down through the floor. Again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Really squish them into the ground. 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay. Blocks are off to the side. Make sure you've got some floor space for your single leg squat matrix we're doing here. I'm going to start with my left leg planted, and we're going to go forward. And you can see I'm using my arms for some balance to the side and then back. Right? Arms come out in front of you for counterbalance here as you sit down. And back. And one more time. Forward, side, and back. You can see Teresa's using that towel. I'm going to just turn myself around and other leg. Now my right leg is planted. That's the one taking on my body weight. Back and forward, side, and back. That's 3. Finally, cross body dead bug. You're going to come down on your back. You're going to take a big breath into your stomach. Fill it with air. Fill the ground with air too. We want to breathe in 3 dimensions. Legs are up, arms are up, opposite sides come down, and then we're pressing across our body for 10 seconds. Really push hard. This one should be quite a challenge. Drive the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee, and that's 10. And other side. Make sure you are breathing, don't hold your breath. Power breaths are good here. Hard in through the nose, hard exhale from the mouth, and that is 10. And take 30 seconds, have a sip of water, and we're going to do that all again.
Yay! If you are in a carpeted area, I just realized, maybe you could use something like a book with a soft cover or like a magazine that will slide easily over the carpet.
Or you don't even slide, you just do single leg squats.
Yeah, you could hover your foot across the floor.
That's gonna be a bit of a big progression though. So
It's
you're
challenging.
probably better off finding a way to slide your foot.
All right, ready for round 2?
Let's do it. So grab your cans or your yoga blocks, whatever you're squeezing and pushing on. Starting hands overhead, Hands on top of your blocks or cans and pushing down for 10.
Remember to set your shoulders back and down into your back pockets.
And switch. Hands are on the side of them now, squeezing them together. If your shoulders are by your ears, you are not putting them in your back pocket like Teresa Cube. So make sure you've got that space. 3, 2, 1. Good. And then just coming out to the side with straight arms and pressing down for 10. And those shoulders are set here too. And that should be good. Okay. Get the blocks out of the way. We're going to do our single leg squats, starting with the heel sliding forward, flat foot sliding to the side, and toes sliding back. Using the arms for counterbalance, and just going to whatever depth you're comfortable with here. That's 3 times around. Going forward, side, and back, forward, side, and back. And do a little dance with your quarantine partner to make sure you have enough space. And back, and that's 3 times around. And into our cross body dead bugs. So we are on our backs, hands up, knees up, and taking a really big breath into your stomach. One arm, one leg down, and pressing across for 10. Toes are flexed up to your shins. 2, 1, and switch. Other side, and pressing in for 10. Remember, power breaths are good here. And that is good. 30 seconds, guys. So it's really common to want to hold your breath when you're doing core exercises, especially isometric ones where we're just holding a position. But we never want to hold our breath for such an extended period of time. The only time we hold our breath is maybe 1 rep max strength attempts, and those never last 10 seconds. They only last a couple seconds. So for these isometric holds, power breaths are good. Hard in through the nose, forcefully out through the mouth. It's going to help keep that core engaged while still allowing you to breathe.
Exactly. And we're ready to go. It's been 30 seconds. Get on to your tummies.
Okay. Yoga blocks or cans or whatever you've got overhead. Hands on top, push them down through the floor for 10.
Three, 2, 1.
Beautiful. Hands on the side of them. Squeeze in. I'm going to try and lift them off the ground this time. You can do the same if you want.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think our counts are a little faster when we're doing them a little harder. Okay, arms out to the sides and pressing down for 10.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nice slow count there. All right, yoga blocks out of the way. Have your floor space. Grab your slider or your socks on a slick floor, and we're going forward, side, and back. That's 1, 2, and 3. Other side, forward, side, and back. Good. And into our cross-body dead bugs to finish off this tricep. Using those power breaths. Big breath into the stomach to start. One side down, one side's pressing. 2, 1. Other side. If you can hear yourself breathing, you are doing well. 2, 1, and that is good. Woo. Alrighty. Teresa is going to take us through our last tricep, and you better believe it is cardio.
Cardio. Who doesn't love a bit of cardio? Okay, we have movement number 1, stationary sprint. That's right. You may look like a fool in your own home, but you're getting a great workout. So, stationary sprint, 2 methods I like to use. Either just straight running man, or you can add a little tempo. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and have a little stall and a challenge to your balance. Okay? Your choice. Choose your own adventure here today. That is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is a lateral bunny hop. Okay? So very simple movement. Hop, 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 hop. Now you can use your arms for momentum. Be nice and light on the toes. Try not to make it heel. If you have neighbors, they might be a little offended if you use your heel. So light on the toes. Movement number 3, lateral beast crawl. So beast crawl, if we revisit, is an opposite hand and foot movement. Okay? But we're going to make it lateral just to play with your brains a little bit more and challenge your coordination. So if you've never done beast crawl before, your hands are going to grip the floor in your quadruped position directly underneath your shoulders. You're going to lift your knees just a centimeter off the floor. The aim of the game is to keep your knees as close to the floor as possible. You don't want the knees coming up here because that's a cheat. So we move opposite arm and leg in a lateral shift. So my hands stay close and my feet stay wide. I come up just a half inch off the floor and I move my left arm and my right foot. So you can see my knees came close together and now my feet came wide. And then I reversed it. So my hands are close and my feet are wide. Take your time and keep your knees as close to the floor as possible. Even if you get off our count, which if it's your first time doing this, you probably will go off our count. Just doing any kind of movement and coordinating is great. Or if you get really frustrated, like I've seen some people do, just hang out here in this position where your knees are hovering just 10 centimeter or 8 centimeter off the floor for 10 seconds, 30 seconds at a time. Now, your rep count or your time count for this is going to be 30 seconds on the runs, 30 seconds on the bunny hop, and I'm pretty sure we did 15 seconds one way, 15 seconds the other way on the lateral.
Depends how much space you have.
Beast. So you're gonna, you want to figure out how much
Back and
space
forth for 30
you
seconds.
have. Yeah, so you want to go back and forth a couple of steps each way for 30 seconds. If you happen to be lucky enough to have a big space, we'll try to remember to cue about 15 seconds through, and usually we'll give you a little bit of a progress report on how far we're through each 30-second count. Okay? We're going to do that 3 rounds through, non-stop,
No rest.
no rest.
Okay, so that means I need a minute and a half,
So-
4.5 minutes.
Do your math on your timer calculations if you prefer to have your timer at home in front of you. Otherwise, we're setting up our timer here. Starting with the sprint. As soon as Ryan tells us that he's ready.
2, 1, and sprinting for 30 seconds.
Remember, you can do your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I'm not coordinated enough for those.
Quick feet, knees up, arms moving fast. 10 seconds. 5.
And into
And
bunny
time.
hops.
Bunny hops.
Side to side.
Now, if you have any pain in the knees, you can step this out. Okay? Just keep the movement continuous. If you want to speed it up, you can go a little quicker. Choose your option that's pain-free, and that'll get your heart rate up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lateral beast. Remember, hands close, feet wide, opposite foot, opposite hand. Otherwise, you can stay in your beast position. 15 seconds for those of you that were able to have a big enough space to go one way. Whoo, these are tough. Shoulders away from the ears. 3, 2, 1.
We're sprinting again.
Straight back to your sprint.
1, 2, ha. 1, 2, ha. 1, 2, ha. I need to make that noise or I can't coordinate it.
You gotta love them for trying. Or just straight fast. Quick as you can move your feet, quick as you can move your arms. 8 seconds. 3, 2, 1, bunny hop. Remember, you can walk it quickly.
This good that says you're a beast. I don't know who she's talking to. Probably you.
Maybe it's you.
It's not me.
8 seconds. Light on the toes. 3, 2, 1. Lateral beast. Oh, I get it now. She just means I'm a beast. Hence the beast. Beast crawl. The penny dropped.
15 seconds.
15 seconds if you have that long space and you took it slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight back up and run. Woo!
3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, a little
1, 2,
movement.
3. Teresa is always showing off that she's so much better than me at this.
It's okay. You're a good sprinter. And so are you. Fist bump while you run. 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hop. Try to think a little lower. Last time we're doing these. Even if you're stepping, get low. Even if you're slow hopping, get low. Oh, that's 15 seconds. Whew. 10. 3, 2, 1. Beast crawl. Hold or walk. Three, 2, that's 15 seconds. Lots of control, little steps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time. Made it. You made it. Oh.
Excellent work, everyone.
Grab some water. Now, for stretching suggestions before we let you go for the day. We worked our quadriceps quite strongly, and I would say we also worked our shoulders quite strongly. So a quadricep stretch that maybe is a little different, that maybe you haven't done before, is a couch stretch. So you can take either your wall or use your actual couch. Bring a cushion under the knee and bring your toe up to the wall. Now, maybe this position is as far as you can go. Maybe you can't stand up to a kneel position. That's okay. This is pretty intense on the front of the leg. And I'm actually going to show you with my other side so you can see a bit better. Great way to stretch out the front of the quad and gauge it as necessary. Maybe you need to be a little bit more out here. Okay, maybe this is really painful on the knee and you need to bring the knee away so that the flexion in the knee isn't as strong. Whatever it is for you, spend about 20, 30 seconds on each side. And then a nice one for the shoulders. If you have a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball or any kind of ball, you can use just handheld rolling techniques on the outside and front and back of the shoulder. Or you can bring the hand across the body, shoulder, or rather elbow across your chest. Hold for about 20 to 30 seconds each side. And then another really nice one for the shoulders is your thread the needle. So from a quadruped position, your hand comes through, you draw your head to the floor, and you stretch behind the shoulder blade on each side. Okay, so here's a couple of stretches for you. Hopefully you enjoyed your workout today. We enjoyed having you. Please drink lots of water and let us know how you go. If you're sweaty like me, let us know. And otherwise, we will see you
next Saturday.
Saturday.
Have a great weekend, everyone.